In the late 19th century, when the British Empire marched inland into Igbo territories, they thought conquest would be swift. But in the Anioma towns of Western Igboland, they met an enemy unlike any they had faced before. Not a king with an army, but a shadow. A silent spirit of resistance that struck from the forests and vanished without a trace. This was the Ekumeku Movement, one of the most remarkable and relentless struggles against colonial rule in Africa. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more untold stories of history, and hit the like button to support our work. By the late 1800s, the British had already secured Lagos, pushed through the Niger Delta, and begun extending their authority deep into Igboland. Their strategy was simple: impose taxes, force labor, and establish control through warrant chiefs. This worked in some regions, but Anioma land was different. Anioma society was decentralized. Each town governed itself through councils of elders and age-grade systems. No single king ruled, so the British could not simply dethrone one leader and claim authority. Instead, they faced a society that valued independence, self-rule, and cultural pride. When the British demanded obedience, Anioma communities resisted. And from this defiance, the Ekumeku movement was born. Ekumeku means silent spirit, an invisible force that cannot be pinned down. The name reflected both their secrecy and their tactics. Starting in 1883, warriors across Anioma towns, Ogwashi-Uku, Ibusa, Onicha-Olona, Ubulu-Uku, and others, came together in secret oaths. They vowed to protect their land, their freedom, and their traditions, no matter the cost. Unlike the British, who fought in open battles with rifles and machine guns, the Ekumeku were masters of ambush. They struck suddenly, at night or from the shadows, attacking colonial outposts, destroying trade caravans, and melting back into the dense forests. For the British, used to straightforward wars, this was maddening. They could not capture what they could not see. The movement was not just about warriors. It was a collective struggle. Young men became fighters, armed with spears, machetes, and sheer courage. Women played vital roles as couriers, carrying intelligence, food, and supplies. Communities gave shelter, guiding the fighters through safe routes hidden in the bush. The British called them rebels, but to the Anioma they were heroes, shadows who refused to bow to foreign domination. But the British Empire was ruthless in its determination. When ambushed, they responded with terror. Punitive expeditions marched into Anioma towns, torching villages, destroying farms, and massacring civilians. Entire communities were left in ashes, armed with Maxim machine guns, deadly weapons that could mow down hundreds in minutes. The British unleashed devastation on people armed mostly with spears. Still, the Ekumeku refused to surrender. The Ekumeku resistance was not a single war, but a series of uprisings that spanned over 3 decades. 1883. The first waves of attacks disrupted British trade routes. 1902. A major phase of the struggle erupted. Anioma towns coordinated strikes, forcing the British to launch full-scale campaigns. Villages like Ogwashi-Uku became centers of defiance. 2. After brutal clashes, the British crushed many fighters, but the spirit did not die. 9. The Ekumeku rose again, reorganized and determined. This time their network was more coordinated, spreading across multiple Anioma towns. Each time the British thought the resistance was over, the silent spirit returned. It was not until 1914, more than 30 years after it began, that the Ekumeku movement was finally suppressed. The British, with superior firepower and scorched earth tactics, destroyed towns, captured leaders, and imprisoned many of the remaining fighters. But even in defeat, the Ekumeku were never broken in spirit. Their struggle had shown that ordinary people, farmers, hunters, mothers, elders, could stand up to one of the most powerful empires in the world. The Ekumeku left behind more than just stories of war. They left a legacy of courage and unity. Though they did not live to see Nigeria's independence in 1960, their resistance inspired later generations of nationalists. To this day, The Anioma people remember them as guardians of freedom, the silent spirit that refused to bow. The Ekumeku story is one of resilience, sacrifice, and the human will to remain free. History often remembers empires and rulers, but here we remember ordinary men and women who became legends. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts.